Okay, everybody, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Madeline Albright, the former United States Secretary of State and the first woman to hold such a high office, died of cancer on Wednesday this past week at the age of 84. Madeline Albright was born Marie Jana Korbalova in Prague on May 15, 1937. Her father was a diplomat, and he was hunted by the Nazis, so he and his family fled to London. With the outcome of the war in doubt, the Korbalova family, or Korbels as they were also known, in what must have been like a gut-wrenching decision, converted from Judaism to Roman Catholicism in 1941. They had their children baptized. They observed Catholic rites and holidays, and they even made up a whole family history of Christian memories. And so in this sense, Madeline Albright reminds me of Queen Esther, another great female diplomat whose identity was also hidden. It was not until the late 1990s that Miss Albright accepted proof about her Jewish roots. She also discovered that she had 26 family members who were murdered during the Holocaust. President Bill Clinton nominated Albright as Secretary of State at the start of his second term, and she was confirmed unanimously by the United States Senate. Imagine that. Her performance won high marks from career diplomats abroad and ordinary Americans at home. Admirers said that she had a kind of star quality, radiating practicality, versatility, and a cosmopolitan flair. She spoke Czech, Polish, French, and Russian. Miss Albright wrote 7 books, including The Mighty and the Almighty, Reflections on America, God, and World Affairs, Read My Pins, Stories from a Diplomat's Jewel Box, a reference to her vast collection of brooches. If you saw her, she always had a huge brooch pinned on her dress or jacket. And she also wrote a book called Prague Winter, a personal story of remembrance and war, 1937 to 1948. Albright reminds me of one of the greatest diplomats of all time. I am referring to Abraham. The patriarch negotiated with and criticized world leaders, including the king of Egypt, and he earned their respect. Similarly, in meetings with dozens of heads of state, the secretary was firm, but she was also flexible, prepared to move beyond her talking points and to engage in frank and open bargaining. One of her aides said that she doesn't hide policy differences, but speaks very directly of them, saying things like, "Here's what we agree on, here's what we don't. Let me tell you what the real problem is." Now, I can't push the Albright-Abraham analogy too far, because Abraham negotiated with God on behalf of the people in Sodom and Gomorrah. I don't think Madeline Albright never spoke to God directly and had to negotiate the way Abraham did. In her memoir, Miss Albright wrote how she wished to be remembered. She wrote, "I hope people will say that I did the best with what I was given, tried to make my parents proud, served my country with all the energy I had, and took a strong stand on the side of freedom. Perhaps some will also say that I taught a generation of older women to stand tall, and young women not to be afraid to interrupt." The rabbis of our tradition composed a bracha to recite upon seeing a world leader. "Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who has given of his glory to flesh and blood." Had I ever met the former secretary, I would have stood up and recited that blessing. Madeline Korbel Albright, Zichrona Livracha, may your memory be for a blessing, And let us say, Amen. Amen. Everyone again, Shabbat Shalom.